Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce myself. My name is Aulia Rahman. You can call me Aul. I am 20 years old. My hobby is reading a novel. Now, I am a student at Universitas Muhammadiyah Tasikmalaya. I am a second semester of majoring in nursing. Here, I am going to presentation about the importance of sunscreen for skin health. The presentation will be in three parts. The first about definition of sunscreen. The second about benefit of using sunscreen you need to know. And the third about harmful of sunscreen. Please feel free to ask questions during the presentation. First, I'd like to talk about definition of sunscreen. What is sunscreen? Sunscreen is a skincare product that serves to protect the skin from the effect of UV rays from the sun that can damage the skin. Sunscreen itself has many textures or types, ranging from lotion, sprays, gels to foams. Why is sunscreen important? The warm rays emitted by the sun will have many benefits for life, including ensuring the production of vitamin D in the human body and supporting the process of photosynthesis in plants. However, did you know that sunlight also emits UV radiation that is harmful to the skin? UV rays or radiation emitted by the sun itself are divided into three types, namely UVA, UVB, and UVC rays. These three types of UV rays have been found to have different effects on the skin according to research. Now, I'd like to look at benefits of using sunscreen you need to know. The first, protect skin from the sunlight itself is divided into several types. The best now are UVA and UVB rays. UVA rays can damage the skin by causing skin of premature aging to appear, while UVB rays trigger a burning sensation, create a striped and dark effect on the skin, and the long-term effects can trigger skin cancer. Well, to minimize the danger of sun exposure, sunscreen must be used. One of the benefits of sunscreen is to protect the skin from sun exposure when you are active outside the room. The second, prevent skin burns if you spend too long doing activities in the sun. Over time, it can make your face turn red. This causes the skin to become silly or burn if the sun is too hot or exposed for too long. With the use of sunscreen, facial skin becomes protected. The third, keep skin tone even. Have you ever experienced uneven skin in some areas of the face? For example, it looks darker than the nearby skin. You may also suddenly appear black spot on your face even though you didn't have acne before. Maybe this thing happened because your skin is not protected by sunscreen. The fourth, prevent the appearance of blackheads. Blackheads must be one of the most annoying skin problems. The cause of the appearance of blackheads, one of which is in the background by sun exposure. Therefore, it is important for those of you who have acne-prone skin to use sunscreen. When buying a sunscreen, choose a product that suits your skin type. The 5 prevents premature aging. Another benefit of sunscreen is to help provide protection against UV rays which can cause darkening of the skin color, the appearance of black spot, premature aging, and uneven skin tone. The bad effect of sun exposure can trigger the appearance of premature aging. For example, dry skin, raw, gray spot, ever, fine lines, even wrinkles on the face. If the signs of premature aging do not want to occur, use sunscreen before leaving the room and before applying makeup. And the sixth, prevent skin cancer. If you are exposed to the sun too often or too long, it can have a bad impact on the skin caused by UVB radiation. This radiation allows you to get sunburn, which is a sign of DNA damage to skin cells. When DNA is damaged, it is at risk of causing skin cancer. Well, one of the benefits of sunscreen is to prevent the bad effects of excessive sun exposure. By using sunscreen every day, the risk of skin cancer can be minimized, hopefully by knowing the benefits and function of the sunscreen above. You will no longer love this one skincare product. With regular use, of course, you will get brighter facial skin. Lastly, I'd like to talk about harmful sunscreen content and should be avoided. The use of sunscreen is recommended to be done every day because sunscreen has good benefits that can protect our skin from sunlight exposure. But it turns out the selection of the right sunscreen must also be considered. In choosing sunscreen, you need to be careful because there are some chemicals that are harmful to the skin. The first, oxybenzone. This substance will undergo a chemical reaction when the skin is exposed to sunlight, giving the effects of skin allergies that can spread to the skin. In addition, there are several other negative effects of oxybenzone. Well, the bad effects of this oxybenzone is endocrine destroys photohairgen and produces free radicals that actually makes the collagen in the skin weaker. The second, avobenzone. Avobenzone content can trigger dermatitis in users who are allergic to this content. Avobenzone content can interact with chlorine that is often found in swimming pools and can trigger long-term liver, kidney, and nerve damage. If exposed to sunlight, the content of avobenzone can produce the release of free radicals that can increase the risk of cancer. The third, retinol palmitate. The retinol compound in retinol palmitate can break down when the skin is exposed to sunlight. This phenomenon can then produce free radicals that can poison cells, damage DNA, and cause cancer. Retinol palmitate can also accelerate the growth of malignant cells and skin tumors when applied to the skin before exposure to sunlight. The fourth, homosalate. Homosalate can cause an increase in pesticide content in the body. Well, the increase in pesticide content in the body also certainly has many bad effects for our body, such as causes a decrease in growth hormone in the child when this substance enters the mother's milk, disrupt the body's hormones that can trigger various diseases, disrupts the body's metabolism which can also trigger various diseases. So, be wise choosing your sunscreen, yes? because paying attention to the use of sunscreen is not only about how it protects against UV rays, but also whether the sunscreen can have a bad impact on the body or not. If there are any question, I'll be happy to address them. That's all what I can deliver. If there have been mistake on it, I beg your pardon and thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.